or so. I would think these would be, it's probably easier to come up with some personal ones for yourself rather than your friend, maybe. All right. Good work, everyone. So generally, well, I'll ask you, what do you think the purpose of this exercise was? Does anyone have an idea? Why would I have you write down some of your own and then some of your friends? Why do we think? Yeah. Yes, exactly. Self-reflection. She said self-reflection and seeing how you view others. A lot of the time, we'll often tend to see the good in other people, but be a lot harder on ourselves. So take some time and just below all this, write some quick thoughts about this exercise, and what do you think you got out of it? If that's what you got, then that's what you got. So who had more positives for you? Did your friend, or did you have positives generally? Okay, that's all right. I think I definitely had more positives for my friend when I did it. All right, very nice. Some general questions. Where do we think happiness comes from, generally? What are some things that make you happy? I'm going to pick on you.
Sports.
Sports. Same here. Friends. So social interaction, yeah. Did you have something? People around you. Awesome. Community is what I'm hearing a lot. Your bed.
I love my bed.
Same here, Haley.
I love it.
I don't get enough sleep, though. Don't get enough
I
of it.
sleep all the time, Master.
That's good. More sleep, more happiness. Yeah.
My dogs.
Dogs. Awesome. Just like the dog there. Apparently this lady maybe really likes balloons. That'll make her happy. Be a sunset. What do you got? What makes you happy, man? Balloons?
Like myself.
Oh, wow, yourself. Fantastic answer. Fantastic. Awesome. Emotional health is good, then you're generally going to feel happy. I don't know if we'll play this video. Yeah, I watched it and I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, the difference between happy and happiness. Happy is feeling joy or pleasure, being glad or content. Happiness is the fact or condition of being happy or glad. This says that researchers in the field of positive psychology have found that you can genuinely increase your happiness and overall satisfaction with life, and it doesn't require a winning lottery ticket or some drastic change. What it takes is inner personal change in perspective and attitude. Just like what this guy was saying, his happiness comes from himself. He's already halfway there. Okay. Now we're going to talk about perspective. Take some time to look at this. And what's the first thing you see? Cat or a mouse? Cat or mouse, what do you see?
Cat.
Cat.
Mouse.
Mouse. Nice. Getting some different answers. Can anyone see this in the back? What do you see? Cat? What do you see? Cat. I think it's a lot, yeah. Can you see, if you look at it, just look at the white. Can you see the mouse? Can you see both perspectives?
Yeah.
It's a bit hard, yeah. Just look at if you're having trouble seeing the mouse like Mr. A did, just look at the white in the middle.
Look at the teeth.
Look at the teeth. That's the eyes of the mouse. teeth, ears of the mouse. Very nice. What about this one? Do you see this man from the front or the side?
Oh.
From the side. If you've seen it from the side, he's kind of giving you a crazy side eye. Can you see both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Is there a box in the corner, or is there a box missing? Oh man, Mr. I can't really see the box missing. What do you see?
A box in the corner.
I see a whole bunch of things on the screen that I could care less about.
That's fair.
It's cool, but like it makes my eyes hurt.
Yeah, don't stare at it for too long. Drive you crazy. That's exactly right. That's exactly what it's doing. It's mirrored. So a lot of you could see both. You could change your perspective on things. And changing your perspective on things can benefit both your emotional and mental health. A perspective is the way we look at life. It can be a turning point. It can be triggering. Perspective can impact the way you feel. Think glass half full, glass half empty type stuff. Haley, generally, would you say is a glass half full or half empty?
Huh?
Like if there's a glass, is this half full or half empty?
Right now it's none.
Okay, none. Generally, sadly, I'm a glass half empty. If I have an empty, but with time, we can change our perspective. Happily, I have it half full. Take out that same piece of paper. Identify 3 external factors that can have an impact on someone's perspective. There's kind of some ideas there.
Have you ever seen the movie American History X?
No. Is it good?
Really good. Ends up being the skinhead, ends up beating by a black guy.
Oh, wow.
Kills him.
Oh,
Ends
jeez.
up going to prison. So it's all black people. Skinhead.
Oh.
Ends up getting saved in prison by a black guy. So when he leaves prison, he tries to go back and try to explain to everybody like not all black people are that.
Oh, wow.
And then just skinheads. So it has this crazy perspective.
That's
change,
cool.
And it's a pretty wild movie. American History X.
All right.
It's an older movie, but it's pretty good.
Nice.
Throw it on your
Yeah,
list.
I was going to say. Yeah, maybe even if we get some downtime, play it in class or something. That'd be cool. You never play movies in class?
Not that one.
Oh, because it's, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
When you watch it, you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's good perspective change.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
Cool. All right. Let me hear what some people had for external factors that may impact your perspective on things. Yeah. Coaches. That's a really good one. Yeah, generally like maybe people in higher positions than us. Coaches, teachers, bosses can have an impact on our perspective. Yeah. Parents for sure. Maybe the biggest, especially at your guys' age, I would think. Yeah. Social media, big one. So I'll ask a follow-up question to the social media one. Do we have control? Like for parents, we don't really have a lot of control over what kind of perspectives they give us. Maybe a little, but generally not a lot. Do we have control over social media, do we think? I see some no's, I see some yeses. Why no?
Because you can't control what other people put on there.
It's very true. And why did you say maybe yes, you could?
You can't control what's on there.
That's exactly right. Sometimes, it's just in our face, but also depending on who we follow, what kind of influencers or, whatever we're looking at, we can kind of change our perspective on things. So it's really dependent. Great job. Next.
My biggest thing is knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. So it's not just necessarily formal education with you, but that can change your perspective. You don't know about something, so you do a little more research.
Very nice. Yeah, Mr. Lancaster.
Has anybody seen the documentary The Social Dilemma? Anybody in here see it? You saw it? Pretty crazy, isn't it? If you don't know what the social dilemma is, it took like Facebook, takes JJ, what else was it? Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. So if whatever you're searching, and it gears everything. So if we opened up our phones and searched something, we would get different results.
Ooh.
Why would we get different results sometimes? Based on our trends that we have asked for on our
I
phones.
was gonna say, doesn't it go by what you recently searched, or like if you're going to search something and then you search like a pair of Nikes, it'll give you an ad like that while you're searching something else.
You may have where you didn't even search it, you were
You're
just
right, and
talking
then it
about
pops
it, and
up.
it shows up on your stuff.
Yeah, that's always disturbing.
It is. So the social dilemma talks about this whole thing of how to get you to change your mind to whether to buy products, whether to think different things. So whether you're around things and it's like geared in a negative way that you're being
Oh, wow.
manipulated through these social networks to get you to think or believe certain things by the feeds that they just keep bringing up to you over and over and over again. So if you talk about like George Floyd, it's going to show you all sorts of different thoughts.
Very nice, Tanner. I love that one.
These are just things that are relevant to you guys of why it matters. So some of the times you're not even going to think that way, but all of a sudden you start getting more and more feed on it, and it starts you start believing that. Does that make sense to everybody? If you haven't watched it, Social Dilemma, maybe we'll put a little clip of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So maybe, yeah, a lot of our perspective might be really impacted by social media after hearing that. Now, internal factors. This one's kind of a bit harder. Maybe you've already started writing some down, but give you a couple seconds. Write down some internal factors that might impact our perspective. All right. What do we got? This one's a bit harder, but I believe. Health? For sure, health. Very nice. It can be difficult to change that as well. What else? Do you got any internal factors?
Like the values, maybe?
Values. Maybe the biggest perspective change. Yeah. Perspective and yes. Your perspective can change your perspective. Very nice. Yeah, Mr. Lancaster.
Personal experiences.
Oh, huge one. Huge one.
All right, go with the story.
Yeah, go for it.
I went to school in Tennessee, and in Tennessee, this gets into race and stuff too for you guys, but perspective changes. So in Tennessee, about half the school was athletes, so half happened to be Black Americans. So it was right around Easter time. We came from Tennessee. I brought one of my buddies who's from South Carolina to my hometown. Stayed with me.
What year is this?
This would have been 2003. Okay. 2003, 2004. So not too long ago. Actually, for us, it's a really long time ago for you guys. So he is up at our house. We went out. We hung out with friends, everything else. He's sleeping on our couch. My grandma is 80-something years old and comes out. She was like shocked. And she just looked. She goes, looks at me and goes, does your colored friend want breakfast? So I'm looking at my friend named Troy on the couch. I'm like, okay. Troy, do you want breakfast? He's like, yeah, I'll take some breakfast. So didn't think much of it, right? Then later on, I end up talking to my grandma, who's never ever been around a Black person her whole life.
What? This year?
Oh,
Like
2003.
Oh,
My grandma's-
you were talking about 2026.
But even at that, like, okay, some of like my
Me personally, I
grandma's
think
never
that'd be weird.
personally been or talked to a Black person her whole life.
Her whole life, she's never.
She grew up on a farm after
I
the
mean-
Depression.
I grew up on a farm from the age of 1 to 3
Where at?
in Sparta.
Right. So She was never around any. So her perspective changed after meeting him. So positive or negative, do you think?
Positive.
Positive, because she really enjoyed her experience with him. But all of her friends growing up, like blacks, were a negative conversation and always bad. So by her meeting and having a personal experience with somebody, it changed her perspective. Can we all kind of relate to that? Does that make sense? Now, if he was rude, obnoxious, and something else, would that have changed her perspective? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Does that make sense to everybody? So your interactions or experiences, and if everybody you hung out or met that was tall was rude, obnoxious, and annoying, what'd you think of all tall people? They would be that, right? If you then met somebody who was tall and they were super nice, could that potentially change your experience? So that's where personal experiences comes into play. I just wanted to share that story with my grandma on perspectives at times.
Very nice. I gotta do my best representing tall people. All right. Do you want to take over now, Mr. E? Is that all right, or do you want me to? Okay, I'll keep going for a little bit. Self-esteem. Ooh. Confidence or pride in oneself. Self-respect. When Mr. A was your age, he did not have a lot of it. I'll let you know right now. Mr. A did not have a lot of confidence in himself. But through perspective and personal change, we can get there. How does a person get self-esteem? Take some time to think.
Share your own experience. Okay, so why do you think you did not have high self-esteem, let's say high school age?
I was nervous. I had a lot of anxiety when I was talking to people. I'd always be like, oh, am I going to say the wrong thing? Oh. And my parents were pretty strict people, pretty hard on me as well. So if I stepped out of line, they'd kind of figuratively crack the whip on me. And so I think that kind of made me a little more closed off and less willing to talk to people or stand up for myself. But as I got older, especially in college, as I started, even in high school, as I got older, I started getting into positions where I had to talk to people. I was, captain on my track team and on my cross-country team. I was president of the Spanish club. And these things kind of put me in positions where I had to talk. I had to be confident. I had to have like an air of presence. So those things really taught me how to have a lot more self-esteem and how to talk to people more. So that's kind of my own perspective. But what do you guys think? How does a person get self-esteem? I maybe floated out some ideas, but how do we think? Maybe different from Mr. A's even. Up front, what do we think? Accomplishing goals. Huge. The feeling of accomplishment, especially of a goal that you've had for a long time, give you unreal confidence, for sure. Yeah. Positive experiences, for sure. Positive experiences will give you a lot of confidence, a lot of self-esteem. Maybe one more. How do we build our self-esteem up? Yeah.
Don't compare yourself to others.
Oh, yes. Not comparing yourself to others. Something Mr. A still struggles with a lot, especially us athletes in the room. Comparison is the thief of joy. We got to think about ourselves a lot. Excuse me. So, some habits listed in this image: working on self-love, postures of confidence, positive inner dialogue, exercise, meditation, and mindfulness. How does self-esteem affect a person's emotional health? What do we think? Gives us positive thoughts, makes us happy. Perfect, yeah. Self-esteem Obviously, we don't want to border on cockiness or arrogance, but self-esteem is really going to give us a lot of positivity, really going to make us happy. When you're more confident in yourself and who you are, when the self-love is there, then you can show way more love to others. Huge. Awesome. Should we play this one? Okay.